Hey guys, Dawn here. I know it's been a while since I made my last video. I think it's been over a month actually. I just haven't gotten around to filming anything new because I have two small kids and it's been flu season, stomach bugs, we've gone through it all the past 3 months. I just haven't had time to sit down and film anything. I was hoping, I finished The Last Magician, which is like a young adult book. I was going to do a full-length review on it, but as I said, I just haven't had the time, so I'm going to bring you another book haul video. I hope you guys don't mind. I know that was my last video and it's not very creative, but I have gotten like about 10 new books between the months of February and March, so I wanted to show that to you guys. Here it is. As you know, I have been reading the Harry Potter series for the first time ever. The first books I had, I just borrowed them from the library, and because I enjoyed the book so much, I decided to buy the first and second book in paperback. I read the first book back in November and I really enjoyed it, but I feel like I wanted to read them like consecutively, and it's been a while. It's been a couple months since I read the first one, and I don't know that I remember much about it. I'm considering rereading the first book and then continuing on with the second book. Should I do that? I don't know. It might be overkill. The next book I got is kind of just like an impulse buy. I was at Half Price Books and I was looking through the clearance rack and I ended up seeing this one, and I had heard about it before on Bookstagram, and so I decided to pick it up. It is In a Dark Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I don't know anything about this book other than they say on the cover it's a bachelorette party gone wrong. They say they compare it to like Gillian Flynn style, which I don't know if I like her writing all that much. I've only read one other short story by her, and I've watched the film adaptation of her movie Gone Girl, and the movie was alright. Her style of writing, I don't know that it's my style, but yeah, I figured I'd give it a shot and the cover looked cute, so I did pick it up. The next book that I picked up was The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. And I picked this one up. It's the first book of a trilogy called the Winter Night Trilogy, and I first saw the second book, The Girl in the Tower, at Barnes & Noble, and it kind of piqued my interest, so I ended up getting the first book. I don't know much about it, and honestly, I haven't found a ton of young adult genre books that I've enjoyed, but I'm still trying to give it a shot. I don't know if maybe I'm just too old to appreciate this genre. I think if I go into reading young adult with just different expectations, you know, I'm used to Stephen King novels and even like Southern Gothic literature type stuff, heavy books, so it's hard for me to like change pace and go into reading a young adult book. This one did pique my interest. It's based in Russia, which is funny because I just finished a book called The Other about a Russian family. So anyway, this one's set in Russia, and I think it has to do with, maybe it's a retelling of a fairy tale, Russian fairy tale, something to do with folklore. I'm still giving it a shot. I'm hoping this one ends up being good. The next couple of books that I've gotten I found at Goodwill, and I really hadn't had the best of luck lately at Goodwill. Usually I go and I find a ton of Stephen King hardcover books to bring home, but I've literally the past 4 weeks I've gone and haven't really found much of anything. But these are the ones I did find. The first is Monster by Frank Peretti. I don't know if a lot of people read his stuff. I read The Oath and The Visitation by him when I was a lot younger, probably still in high school, I guess. And although some people might find them a little cheesy, they have like, he's the writer, Frank Peretti, he's a Christian writer, kind of like, I think Pentecostal actually. So it does kind of influence a lot of his writing, and some people don't really like that, but I did end up liking The Oath a lot when I was younger, and I reread it recently and liked it. I also read, what was it? Prophet by him, which I did not end up liking. I rated it a 3, and that was being generous. I didn't like that one as much, but I've gotten quite a few of his books here, and I want to go through and read them. Just because he has that kind of Stephen King flavor, but like I said, with a lot of like spiritual warfare type stuff in it. So I did also find a Stephen King book, not one that I wanted to read or anything like that. This, along with like Christine, his books that have to do with cars or whatnot. I don't have a huge interest in reading, but I want to eventually collect all of his books, and all I have is this one shelf right here. Those are all his books, and I'm gonna try to collect them all and eventually read them all. So that was added to the collection. And now this one I was actually really excited about. I've been wanting to read something by Ramsey Campbell for quite a while now. I just haven't come across any of his stuff while I've been out thrifting, so I was happy I came across The Parasite, and it'll be the first book by him that I've ever read. So I'm excited to check that out. This cover, I mean, how can you not love those covers? And I tend to, like, I want to get newer books just because they look pretty up on my bookshelf and stuff, but I just can't pass up good covers, vintage covers like that. They're just too cool. The last book I found at Goodwill, Of Mice and Men from John Steinbeck. I just finished, it's funny because I just finished Blaze by Stephen King, and in his introduction he cites this book as influencing, like Blaze is kind of like an ode to this book. And I've already read like 17 pages. This is the next book I'm reading just to get it out of the way. I've actually never read anything by Steinbeck before, but I've heard good things, and I lived in Monterey, California for a short bit 2 years ago, a year ago, I don't know. And obviously Cannery Row is out there, Salinas, all the places, his stomping grounds, I guess. And yeah, I wanted to check him off the list. The next book I got was The Complete Stories by Flannery O'Connor. I used to have this exact same copy about 10 years ago because I love Southern Gothic, and she was a favorite of mine, but I think one of my exes kept all my books from a long time ago. So I'm excited to check out this book and reread it because it had such a profound impact on me when I was younger. She's a devout Catholic. She died at a pretty early age due to the disease lupus. She raised peacocks and had an obsession with them, so that's why they incorporated that on the cover of the book. The 10th and final book I bought was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and I got this because, sadly enough, even though it's my namesake on Instagram, I actually have never read the book before, and I found this at Half Price Books. I had like a coupon for 40% off or something like that, and so I only paid $2.50 for it, and it looked like a really pretty edition. So yeah, that's the end of my book haul. Thank you guys for sitting through another one of those. I know it gets a little tedious, and hopefully next time I can come up with something a little more creative for my video. I'm just sorry I haven't had a ton of time, and this upcoming week I'm going to Nashville to see my family for my kids' spring break, and then I'm going to Charleston, South Carolina. So hopefully after all that, I'll be able to come back with a better video. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye!